going to surprise yourself. You're going to surprise yourself with the things that you think of, the ideas that you have. And I guarantee that your $1 million idea that you've been waiting for, that you've been searching for, probably searching for online, trying to find through inspiration, through other people online, through social media feeds, through the content people are writing. You're trying to get inspired by them. You're trying to spark new thoughts and new ideas. That's all great to a certain extent, but for you to get your $1 million idea, for you to create that life you want, for you to truly step into your purpose, for you to truly become the person that you're supposed to be, that needs to come from you. Hello, fellow Earthlings. Welcome to the Becoming the Big Me podcast. I'm your host, Jamila Burney, and together we will be stepping into our highest potential, exploring all things mind, body, and soul, with just a smidge of business. You're a spiritual badass, soulpreneur, and a warrior for change. You're ready to expand your impact and leave your old self behind in order to raise your vibration so that you can positively influence your business, your community, and ultimately the world. Without further ado, let's dive right into it. What is up, my party people? Hey. I am in such a good mood today. It has been an absolutely fantastic last couple of days. There's just so much awesome shit going on right now, and I can't wait to share with you everything that's going on. Not yet, though, unfortunately, because I want to finalize everything, get everything all packaged up, rolled out, so I can actually share the details accurately with you. But the past couple of days have just been a whirlwind of just inspiration, creativity, and just positivity coming into my life. And I am just so excited for what is to come and what I am creating, the inspiration and the ideas that have been coming to me, the downloads. And I don't know, there has been just some major energetic shifts since that last new moon, which was the super new black moon, also the end of the retrograde. And it's just like, I've just been just hit with so much awesomeness. And I want to just kind of talk about something that I believe plays into that. And that is the magic of creating space. I am talking about physical space. I'm talking about mental space. I'm talking about just space, like space to be, space to grow, space to think, space to do. And so one of the things that I have become obsessed with is cleaning things out, purging, and creating literal physical space. When my daughter and I came back from Washington a couple of weeks ago, 2 weeks ago now, when we came back, we spent several days just purging, Marie Kondoing our life, just getting rid of things that we're no longer using, don't bring joy to our lives anymore, just creating space, cleaning things out, going through those dark corners of junk, those junk drawers, those bathroom shelves, those bathroom drawers that are just end up getting piled with all of this old stuff that you don't use. Went through all of our medicine cabinets, just like cleared it out. And now it's like I can breathe in my home again. The things that are here I need, the things that are here I enjoy, and it just makes me feel so much more high vibe. And that is part of what I'm talking about in the magic of creating space, is in that physical space, going through, getting rid of the dirt, getting rid of the old, getting rid of the things that don't bring you joy in your home anymore. And this, is a practice that is very, very, very important and talked about in feng shui. Now, I don't really know much about feng shui. I would love to have a feng shui specialist on here at some point, because it is something that I'm extremely interested in learning more about, and something that I have been diving into a little bit on my own. And one of the big practices in feng shui is having that clear space for energy to flow freely. When you allow things to just collect, it's this like stuck energy that it just gets stagnant and it's not creative. It's not bringing in the right, feelings and flow into your life. And a practice that I have implemented as of late is, in the mornings, I spend 5 to 10 minutes. That is all. And I will clear out one other little corner of my house, whether it's just, one drawer, one shelf, one box, one little area, and I will just clear it out. So it's not overwhelming. So it's not like I'm trying to do everything at the same time, but I'm cleaning it out. I'm getting rid of it. And, I believe that our physical reality is a complete reflection of our internal reality. So how we keep our home, how we keep our spaces is a reflection of our inside, of our minds. And not only is it important to create this physical space and clear out old things, pick up the dirt, but it's also very important to clear out that mental space, to clear out those old thoughts that are no longer serving you, those thoughts that don't bring you joy, those programs that maybe served you at one point in your life, but the season, the chapter, the book that you are currently on in your life is no longer serving you. And so that's a practice that I have now put into my morning. I create space both mentally and physically. I do 5 to 10 minutes of clearing just a small section, creating space in my physical reality. And then I do my meditations and my intention setting and my journalings to dive into my belief systems and those programs that are running in my head, those deep closets, those junk drawers of your brain where you just kind of throw all your junk and then you just shut it and you think that you forget about it, but you know that it's there, right? So it's so powerful. It's so powerful to just create that space. You know, the saying, when one door closes, another one opens. Well, it's very cliche. It's, maybe overused, but it's true. It's there for a reason. It is the reason why people say that is because when you allow yourself the space, when you shut off one area, when you take a step back from something that's no longer serving you, you are giving yourself and the universe permission to bring in new things, to bring in new energy into your life. You're getting rid of that old pent up space. Now, the other thing with creating space, as a creative, as a visionary, as a business owner, as a solopreneur, a soulpreneur, anyone who is trying to be creative and download new ideas, whether you're writing a book, starting a podcast, creating a course, coaching, just trying to be more present online, create content, whatever it is, you need to create space for yourself to be creative. And in this day and age, it can be really hard because there's so many distractions going on that we never give ourselves any mental space. There's the social media and all of the notifications happening on our phone at a constant basis, and just so much noise that technology has brought to us. And technology is amazing. I love technology. It gives me the power to communicate with you right now. It gives me the power to have friends all over the entire world. Like this podcast, I have listeners all across the United States. I have listeners in Canada, Australia. Like it's Singapore. Like it's crazy. I love technology. It's so powerful, but we have allowed it to overrun our brains a lot of the time, and especially as business owners, because building our business, like you have to be present online to build your business. So you end up spending so much of your time with all of these different distractions happening in your life. And we never give ourselves the space to actually think and the space to be ourselves, the space to actually be bored. One of my favorite things is to be bored. I absolutely love it. Why? Because all your best ideas are going to come when you are bored, when you don't have things going on, all of these distractions. So when you're creating space, there's so many levels, so many levels to creating space. We already talked about, creating that physical space by physically cleaning out old things and physically getting rid of things that no longer bring you joy, things that are just sitting around and collecting pent up energy. We talked about creating the mental space by going through the junk drawers of your brain and clearing them out, bringing to light those programs, those old ideas and beliefs that have been running in the background that you just tried to compartmentalize and shove away, but is still there. So we talked about that. But the other part of this is giving yourself the space to create. So that's where this boredom comes in. You have to give yourself that time. You have to give your brain space to think. You have to give your brain space to become bored so that it can come up with its creative genius, so you can come up with brilliant ideas, so you can download source knowledge, so you can, just think of new things and not just be constantly bombarded with the noise of the world, with the noise of social media, with the pressure of the notifications, with the having to respond to everyone all of the time. We're getting all of these different messages from all of these different sources. And so then, how do we even know what thoughts are coming from us? What thoughts are just replaying from things that we've seen? And that's where this next tip is going to tie in. I have a habit that I have implemented in my life that has completely changed everything. I mean, literally everything is giving myself space to be bored. How do I do that? Well, my phone goes off at a certain time at night. All the technology gets put away. All of those distractions, all of the notifications, they get shut off. They get put into a certain place, and that's it. And then I stay up. I probably go to sleep around 10 or 11 at night. These days, I only have to sleep about 5 hours to actually feel fully energized. And I think that part of this is because I now put away technology and all those notifications and that blue light. I put it away several hours before I go to bed. So I'm able to get a much, much more deep sleep, and I'm waking up way more energized now than I ever did back then when I would sleep 8, 10 hours. And the other thing that is happening is during this hour to 2 hours is my brain is on fire. It's just all of these things are just popping off left and right, ideas, content flowing through me. Why? Because I gave myself the space for that to happen. Okay, now the next tip that I have on creating space is another physical tip. So this is one that is a tangible physical tip here, and that is to create a blank space in your room. I would suggest your room. You can do it wherever you want, really, but if it's at nighttime, like I would suggest your room, and that's what I do anyways. A blank space that's literally just a blank space. So for me, that is a whiteboard. It is a big whiteboard that I have in my room that is blank. I keep it blank. The reason being is on a subconscious level, our brains don't like white space. They don't like blank things, especially if it's something that is typically filled up, such as a whiteboard. Like, who just has a blank whiteboard all the time? You write stuff on whiteboards, right? And our brain, it's on a subconscious level, wants to fill up that white space. It's very similar to how our brains don't like unanswered questions. So when you read a question, your brain is automatically already looking for the answer for it. And that's just one of the ways that it operates. That is the same as space, empty space. So having that empty space in your room, no technology, you're giving yourself a physical space and you're giving yourself a mental space to create and to step into your genius and to receive creative, intuitive downloads. And I'm telling you, if you do those simple things, if you just do those 2 simple things, put away all technology an hour before bed and create yourself a blank space in your sacred place, whether that be your bedroom. I like the bedroom because at nighttime, I'm always getting ready for bed, putting away clothes, like doing that kind of thing. So it's like right there and I have to see it while I'm doing it. Like that's the other thing, you want to be able to see it. Put it in a place that's visible where you're going to constantly see it and your brain is just going to start filling it. Now, once you fill your whiteboard, you take a picture of your whiteboard and you erase it. And then it just will keep coming because, again, it's space. It's empty space. You are having to fill it again. Your brain is flowing. It is going to want to fill up that empty space. And seriously, since I've started doing this, like everything has been flowing. The ideas just keep coming. I'm writing 2 books. Like I'm running, several businesses. Have this podcast and in the works launching another podcast that is solely going to be focused on marketing because my agency is a digital marketing agency, and I constantly have people coming to me asking questions very specific to the digital marketing realm that are not people who would care at all about the content that I post on here, the spiritual stuff. Definitely more of that, hustle, energy, male-centered energy. So that podcast is going to have a totally different feel. But all of these things have come to me. All of these ideas have flown to me with ease since I have created the ritual of creating space for myself. And I think that scratch that. I know that if you implement just those 2, the other 2 that I started with are going to help you as well. But even if you don't do those at all, if you just put the blank whiteboard in your room, turn off all the technology, turn off all the distractions, an hour before bed, you're going to surprise yourself. You're going to surprise yourself with the things that you think of, the ideas that you have. And I guarantee that your $1 million idea that you've been waiting for, that you've been searching for, probably searching for online, trying to find through inspiration, through other people online, through social media feeds, through the content people are writing. You're trying to get inspired by them. You're trying to spark new thoughts and new ideas. That's all great to a certain extent, but for you to get your $1 million idea, for you to create that life you want, for you to truly step into your purpose, for you to truly become the person that you're supposed to be, that needs to come from you. And how is it going to come from you if you're constantly being bombarded with other people and other people's opinions? I want you to think about that. And with that, I'm going to close this episode because I really don't want to dilute the message here. And I want this to be something that you take action on. I want you to make this sacred time for yourself. If you are a business owner, your entire business is going to transform. If you're a wannabe business owner, that business idea is going to come to you. If you're just working for another person, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're working in a organization, this is still going to help you because you're going to get more ideas, which is going to make you more valuable to that company, which is going to bring you more abundance, which is going to bring you more money. Or maybe you're working for another company right now and you've been wanting to start your own business, but you just can't figure out what it is. You just don't know. This is going to help you find it. This is magic. It's real life magic. It is a tangible thing that you can do for yourself to step into your power, to become the person that you're supposed to be, to channel your inner genius, and to just allow yourself the space to think, the space to be bored, the space to create.
Thank you for tuning into today's episode of the Becoming the Big Me podcast. If you found value in today's episode, make sure to leave us a review and share this episode with someone who needs to hear this message. That's how our podcast grows. Are you curious about learning more about harnessing the power of your subconscious mind? Then join the free Rewire Challenge, where we dive deep into the subconscious mind, how it works, and give you some tangible action steps to begin rewiring it to serve you. Go to bit.ly/Rewire Challenge. That's bit.ly/Rewire Challenge. Until next time, I'm your host, Jamila Burney, signing out.